There we go. 94.3 The Ox, little CCR for you on your Monday ride. Looking at pictures from Thanksgiving. It's time for Coffee Talk, brought to you by the Comanche Chamber of Commerce and Agriculture. Check them out at #Explore Comanche, Texas, as we welcome in, without the kids. We're going to miss the kids. Cynthia Newton with Hope Counseling. How you doing?
Mommy needs a break.
That was awesome. If you folks didn't see, you need to go on the Ox page and look up her interview with the kids last
They did well. They were funny. You just never know what's going to come out of the kids' mouth. I mean, mouths of kids. I will say that.
The facial expressions.
And yes, my kids have great facial expressions. So, which if you're listening, you can't. Yeah, you just need to look on the face.
Yeah, you got to watch it. My wife was like rolling in the floor. Here's what I dealt with this morning. She goes, "You can't mess with kids." I go, "Well, we got close."
So I hope everybody enjoyed their Thanksgiving and, was able to, especially for those that were dealing with loss over Thanksgiving, was able to take time to remember your loved ones that you've lost and find ways to make it special for you and your family. And I will say that for those of y'all that did listen last week, that my kids did put forth the effort to do some of those things that they said they wanted to do.
That's what we were looking at right when we went on the air.
Exactly. That's what I was a little bit delayed getting to my seat because I was showing him the pictures of the things that they had done, which was really cool.
Yeah,
and it was, I think it was something that they needed.
Sure, therapeutic.
I mean, obviously they were the ones that came up with these ideas and then they were able to implement them, and there was some tears shed, absolutely. And
sure.
But that's a healthy thing. I think I've said it's not just because you need to cry to, doesn't mean that that's a bad thing. You're working through that grief, that loss at this particular time of the year. And so today, on the heels of that, obviously, we're hitting strong into the holidays. Yep. Everybody's done their Black Friday. We're on Cyber Monday shopping. My secretary took my phone away earlier.
I wonder why that happened.
She's like, stop! Anyway, no, but, I hope you've had fun shopping, or, as you're trying to get everything started with your Christmas directions.
That too, you got to start with those.
Starting with your Christmas decorations.
There you go.
So, but today I really want to talk about how to deal with holiday depression. Okay, so that's a little bit of a different spin on depression. I mean, most people are familiar with what depression is, but sometimes people actually deal with depression only around the holiday season. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to talk about that and how to overcome that, or how to cope with that, because like I said, the holidays are here. We've gotten past Thanksgiving. We've got Christmas coming up. Everybody's supposed to be cheerful. It's the most wonderful time of the year, right? But you know what? It's not necessarily that way for everybody.
Sure.
So you have to remember that, there's a lot of hustling and bustling and everybody's excited, but, for some, that's not the case.
Sure.
And
quite the opposite.
Absolutely. So holiday depression is simply depression that you feel around the holidays. Like I said, some people feel it leading up to the holidays. Other people feel it after the holidays are over. And this can differ between each person, as it can cause it can also be different from one person to the next. So just realize it may be before, after, during, all of these. But some of the causes may include loneliness, the recent loss of a loved one, financial strain or money worries, Black Friday shopping. How am I going to buy for those gifts and those things? And, and there's a lot of financial strain that comes in at Christmas time.
Sure.
Social anxiety, stress, unrealistic expectations, or being around those who engage in physical abuse and mental abuse. All of those things can lead to holiday depression. So while some people may be enjoying this wonderful time of the year, and are merry and bright, others truly might be struggling just to get through the day. Okay, so be aware of that and how to help them, as well as if you are one of these individuals, this is for you. This is how do you cope with that? How do you get through? What do I need to do? So what to know about depression? I've talked about depression before, but first off, I really, want you to kind of, again, be aware of what depression is. It's second only to anxiety in the number. Depression is the number one mental health problem in the world, and it affects both young people and old people alike. In the United States alone, a national mental health study revealed that 17.3, let me repeat that, 17.3 million adults aged 18 and over suffered with at least one major depressive episode during 2017. That was pre-COVID.
Right.
That was pre-COVID.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of people. I mean, when you really think about it, and this is only in the United States. This was a study that was done in the United States only.
Wow.
So the problem with holiday depression is that it can be misinterpreted as being nothing more than the winter blues. So when it comes to the holidays, people are more focused on their physical health issues than their mental health issues. They're more interested in losing those extra pounds. How many people gained about 5 pounds this week? Than taking care of their own mental health. So it's that physical versus mental health. So being unaware that there is a problem can actually lead to holiday depression evolving into major depression. Medication, counseling are always good avenues to seek if you discover that you're living with symptoms of depression. So, again, what is depression? It is a mental health disorder that is characterized by being persistently depressed and or the loss of interest in activities a person used to enjoy to the point that their daily life is affected. In a nutshell,
Right.
That's what it is. It affects your daily life, okay? You lose pleasure in your daily activities. It's hard to just put one foot in front of the other, and there's different levels. I mean, you may be like, oh, I might be just a little bit, but there's, I mean, if you're really struggling, I mean, even just a little bit, that can be considered depression, okay? Who's more prone to depression? So again, this study, which really interested me, was young people are actually more prone to depression than other age groups. In that same study that was conducted in 2017, an estimated 3.2 million adolescents within the United States between the ages of 12 and 17 had at least one major depressive episode that year. So again, I mean, it's hitting our young folks just as much as it's hitting the older folks, okay? So, you know, don't sit there and go, oh, they're too young to really have the problems, or oh, they don't really realize it, or, you know, they're okay, they know how to cope with it. No, I mean, there's a lot of things that are hitting our adolescents today that we as adults didn't have to face.
Sure.
I mean, it's just a different world, and it's changing constantly.
Well, and every individual's different on how they're going to deal with that. Some
Absolutely.
of them, yeah, they'll work their way out of it. Some of them,
Absolutely.
not so much. It just gets worse.
Absolutely. And our kids these days they're not as resilient. They haven't learned as many coping strategies as we did, because we're into that electronics world versus,
Sure.
and I'm really aging myself, y'all here, but I mean, we're into the electronics world versus, okay, so let's just go put on it. I didn't mean to hit the microphone. We didn't, go put on a video game or go do this or do that, instead of, hey, let's get out, let's go take a walk, let's go kick some rocks, let's go, shoot a basketball. I mean, just some of the things that can get somebody active versus the inactivity can actually increase depression.
Sure.
So it's kind of a catch-22 there. So just be aware of that with kids. So I've already said there's a lot of treatment options. Medication and counseling are always options. So don't feel ashamed to be able to ask for help. So much of the stigma around mental health is finally dissipating in our world. However, there still is some stigma. I'm crazy. I don't want everybody to think I'm crazy just because I have to take medicine. So be aware that a lot of people around you are probably on meds or probably in counseling more than you really even realize.
Yeah, back in the day, if you were seeing a therapist, you're old.
Yeah, exactly. It was like,
that boy ain't right. Well,
no,
he's just got a few issues he's working through,
All right. So with all of that being said, I want to give y'all some tips that you can use to help you deal with holiday depression this year. So first off, don't be afraid to switch up the tradition. You may not want to go through the motions of the normal activities. I talked about this a couple of weeks ago, but that's okay. But don't pressure yourself into trying to keep up with things that you did years ago when you were feeling much better. It's okay to relax on the traditions and let some things go until you feel better. This will be better for your mental health in the long run. If you don't feel like putting up that 6-foot tall Christmas tree and you just want to put up a 2-foot Christmas tree just so, hey, at least I have a Christmas tree for the kids, for whatever, but I don't want to do the big one this year, or the 9-foot, or whatever it is that you do. That's okay. if you don't want to do a Christmas tree at all, that's okay too. Just go and just put something there in it that helps you remember Christmas.
Right.
And that's okay. It's what you feel like doing. Go through the motions. What does that mean? Wait a minute. You just told me not to give up to switch up traditions. I mean, don't be afraid to do that. But now you're telling me to go through the motions. Some people find that if they simply get started on doing an activity or attending a social gathering, they end up feeling better once they get there. The idea of getting dressed up and ready to go might make you want to stay in bed, but once you get to the party, you may find that you are enjoying yourself. So this can be a nice reprieve from the depressive symptoms that you are experiencing and affecting your mental health. So, again, not for everybody, okay? But this truly may be something that, once you get over that hump of, okay, getting ready and getting out, to go to an event or go to an activity that you have done in the past, absolutely. Or maybe you want to do something different. I mean, I'm telling you what, the lights on the Comanche County Square are pretty awesome right now. So make your way over to Comanche County and kind of check out those lights. If you just want something to do that doesn't involve having to interact with a lot of people, you can take a walk or a drive right around the square and listen to Christmas music and look at the lights. So, see, I can plug Comanche County.
You did. Cha-ching.
So, don't set unrealistic expectations on others, okay? Hey, Mom, are you going to make food this year? Hey, Mom, are we going to have the same meal? Hey, sister, you're going to bring your normal stuff? Hey, this and that. Don't set expectations, okay? Allowing things to just happen, but not putting pressure on others to make everything perfect is important. It's important to remember if you are dealing with holiday depression that other people are not going to be able to fix you. Did you catch that?
Yes, I did.
Other people can't fix you.
Nope.
Okay, don't think that everything would just be better if so-and-so did this or that, or they just would step up to the plate and do more.
Yeah.
Remember that no one else is going to be able to make you feel better when you are depressed. You have to help yourself. Okay, I can't make you feel better as a therapist. No, I can help shed a light on how you get to that point. But I'm not the one that's going to wave my magic wand and help you feel better.
We can't drag you out of the deep water if you stay in the middle of the pool. You got to get.
But you got to meet
us halfway.
It's like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. I can throw you the rope, but you have to choose to grab on.
Yep.
So there you go. I love metaphors, by the way.
Right.
Let people close to you know what's going on. Don't be afraid, to tell people, hey, I'm really having some holiday depression this year. You shouldn't have to hide that from your family and your friends, from your close family and friends. In fact, doing so could lead your mental health to getting worse because you're trying to put on this fake face, this fake front that's not true.
Right.
Let them know what you're going through and how you are feeling. Make sure to let them know that you don't expect them to make it better. Talk to them about things that you are comfortable with at that moment, and also that you may not do all the things that you normally do during the holidays because you're just not feeling up to it. That's okay.
Right.
It's okay. But don't be afraid to tell people, okay? Don't be afraid to tell those about it. Allow others to help. Oh, this is my hard thing. I'm going to tell y'all this right now. This is very difficult for me to say, hey, you know what? I need help.
No.
I can't do it all. Guess what? There are people that you don't even realize that are willing to stand up and help build an electric fence. I had that this week.
Oh, okay.
Help.
Well, now that's child endangerment. Oh, it's for the critters?
It was
okay.
for the kids. It was for the horses. No, it was not for the kids.
Good idea, though. Run some indoor.
But anyway, back to the holidays. So, if you are the person that is usually responsible for pulling that holiday together, this can be a difficult thing to do. Allow yourself to delegate tasks to others and ask others to pitch in and help. Say, hey, you bring this salad or you bring that salad. I don't want to make all of them this year. I don't want to do everything this year. Start delegating and start letting people you bring the pies or whatever. If you've been running the holiday for years, people might not know how to help you with it. Make sure you find a way to divvy it up. I can tell you that's one thing that we struggle with my family is it's like, it's like we just have our roles and we know this is what we do. And, it's really hard to say, hey, I can't do this year. Can you just help, But, so just be aware that sometimes you have to speak up. If your depression has you to the point that doing that sounds too overwhelming, simply hand the reins over to someone else this year. It's okay. Allow them to do it in the way that they see best. That means hand the reins. You can't hand them and be tugging them back.
It goes back to those expectations.
You gotta hand them over if you don't feel like you can do it, and just say, hey, I know this may not be the way I would have done it, but I just don't feel like I can do it this year, so I'm giving you the reins to do it. Yeah. Don't play the comparison game of holiday past. Okay? It's easy to look back on the good old days and get frustrated that the current holiday looks nothing like that.
Right.
Allow each holiday to be the best that it can be without comparing it to others, even though that special loved one may not be there, or even though, something's just missing this year, or, maybe you've gone through a divorce and things are just different this year. There's all sorts of things that, hey, it may look different this year, or you're going through that. Don't compare it to holiday past. Enjoy the moment. Make it special this year.
Right.
What do you do? Like my kids last week said, put a special ornament on the tree. I was just like, that's so awesome. And we've actually done that. So I'm sure that's how they've come up, for people that have been lost, we've lost before is, an ornament, and getting that special ornament in memory of that person. Absolutely. Get enough rest. I tell you what, I did a lot of resting this past week.
Me too.
I think I needed it. My body was like, you just don't need to be doing anything that you had on your to-do list. Catch up. It's okay to just take some time for yourself and rest. Okay? The hustle and bustle. Again, there's a lot of activities that have to be done. There's a lot of places to go, a lot of things to do. You could go to them, or sometimes you could just stay home and sleep. And maybe that's what you need. Maybe that's what you need. Watch a holiday movie. I love Christmas music movies.
Oh, yeah. They're already,
Hallmark movies
already
are
started.
out, guys. Trust me, you could sit there and veg out on holiday Christmas movies all day long and get very teary-eyed. Make sure you have a Kleenex box and lots of snacks. But, you could do all sorts of things just to kind of help you. Just take some me time. Watch what you eat. Be careful to really be aware of what you're eating. Big meals, lots of desserts, sweets, this can wreak havoc on your body. It can have a negative impact on your digestive system as well, and also taking away main nutrients from your body. So just be aware that even though it's okay to indulge a little, be aware that you're just not just, I'm just going to have this little bit of real food and all the rest of junk and candy. Yeah. So, don't just overindulge to the point that you're not getting the right nutrients. That will not help your depression. I can promise you that. Exercise. Exercise can be from just taking a brisk walk to going to the gym to whatever helps you personally. Don't say, I'm just going to put it off till January when all the gyms are finally packed because everybody wants to do it in January. Start doing it now. Start getting in that routine now. It will help you find, first off, help you make that habit so that come January when you're really wanting to start losing that weight because you put on all this extra weight and, it's that New Year's resolution that we always make to lose weight. You're able to find that. So you're able to start that and it already has become a habit. It'll also help decrease anxiety, tension, and anger that you may be feeling.
Sure.
It's a great outlet. So exercise. Again, it doesn't have to be a 2-hour workout. Go take a walk. Go walk around the block. Go walk down your dirt road if you live on a dirt road. Just go take a walk. Make it a nature walk. Make it a fun walk. See what you can find. Sometimes that's fun too.
Oh, yeah.
Connect with others. When feeling depressed, many people start to seclude themselves from others. They withdraw from family and friends. Avoid going to social gatherings and just staying behind closed doors. This may feel like the most comforting thing to do at the moment, but it is not helpful for you. So the longer you stay by yourself, the more you'll start feeling lonely and jeopardize your mental health. People will suffer from holiday depression, maybe because they're lonely, they don't have the family, they don't have the friends, they don't have some of that. If you don't have that, find somebody that you can spend some time with. Just somebody, it can be incredibly lonely because it seems like everyone else is surrounded by people that they love. Remember that this isn't true, and there are lots of people that are in the same place as you. So, I mean, just be aware. And if you're not able to get out, and I'm gonna do this. I mean, I know that there's lots of agencies and organizations out there that are trying to do things for shut-ins, especially people who can't get out. And, if you've got kids, during that Christmas break, and hey, I want to take them to the nursing home, or hey, I want to take them caroling, or just doing some extra things. I mean, think about that, especially during this time of the year when it's really hard. You've got bell ringers out again, and sometimes, hey, maybe just getting out, standing there ringing a bell will help you feel like you're at least interacting with somebody. Maybe you don't feel like you can go out and do something major, but 1 hour, 2 hour block ringing a bell, for the Salvation Army is something you can do, and you're seeing people and you're interacting, So again, it doesn't have to be this massive party. It doesn't have to be this major event, but just something you can do to make sure that you're interacting and getting out. Take your mind off of yourself, okay? Depression brings on a lot of anxious thoughts and worries. It's easy to get so wrapped up in your thinking that you become wrapped up in yourself. Look for a way to put the focus on other people. You could do this by volunteering, like I said, or even visiting others, visiting shut-ins. Just because you may be in a better situation than other people, that doesn't mean that your holiday depression isn't warranted. So just be aware of that, okay? And finally, always, there's always the option of getting professional help. You're going to have ups and downs. Depression can be complicated. You never really know when it's going to just go away. That's why it's best to learn what you can do to address that when you're starting to struggle. These tips are here just to help you guys. They're not a textbook. It's not, it's not, hey, this is absolutely going to work for every single person. Nothing's like that when it comes to mental health. Every person's different. Each person that walks through my door is a different individual, and what works for one might not work for the other. So just be aware that we are here to help y'all in any way that we can at Hope Counseling of Texas, with offices in Comanche, Dublin, Eastland, and Hamilton. Our phone number is 325-356-1105. Again, 325-356-1105, with offices in Comanche, Dublin, Eastland, and Hamilton. And we're here to help you at Hope Counseling of Texas.
All right, Cynthia Newton, thanks so much for stopping by.
Thank you, and we'll see you next week.
Where's the kids?
At school.
You'll recognize them because they'll have electric fence marks all over them. Terrible.
In Stephenville, Texas, would like to invite you to their team. Telecom is a